All
Welcome,
right.
ladies. Well,
Wait,
you
I
want me
thought I
to?
was going to kick off the show.
Oh, God. I thought please,
Okay,
please.
okay. I see what you mean. All right, I gotcha. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Daily High. We are back. Matt McGregor and Tone Vase. I thought I would do the intro today. And we had a very quick show yesterday. I was rushing to go diving. Not in as much of a rush today, but the price is moving a little bit. But overall, we're not really changing that much. Matt, you want to go first, or should I just stick with it and go first?
Yeah, I thought that's what you meant when we so you please continue. Go first, my friend.
All right, so let me just go first. All right, the month is coming to an end. You can see how this is our weekly chart. Here is our monthly chart. The monthly candle is not that interesting. Here is that weekly candle. We are flirting with this blue line that I have. This is basically the lowest weekly close we've had since the summertime. And I don't want to see us close below that. If we do close below that, I would be looking for a full-blown move into an MRI buy. It would be unfortunate if that MRI buy took place at a double bottom. Right now, we are clearly working on a higher low. And we still have a lot to go in order for us to get to the major resistance level between 100 and 105,000. Every time it looks like it's heading there, it gets rejected. So I'm not expecting a lot from here. But look, it is a good candle. Here's the daily chart. We are breaking the first level of resistance. We haven't done this since all the way back in early December. We were not able to even get to the second moving average, but now that second moving average is within striking distance. Will we be able to break both moving averages? Would be cool if we do. And in that situation, I would be looking for a move into that $100,000 resistance area. If we take a peek at the oscillators, we can see that the RSI is doing very, very well on the daily since jumping into that oversold territory. So the RSI has done a great job in marking the low. The MACD has also done a pretty good job since marking the low at the end of November on this daily chart. We have been more consolidating, but at least you're not losing money. The CMF, however, remains very, very bearish. That is a big, big concern. The CMF is both volume and price combined. And here's perhaps the bigger concern is the EXA, Socrates' EXA, is crossing over to the downside, and it has already fully recovered on a daily chart. On a weekly chart, it is just recovering now, and this looks pretty good actually to me. Matt, what does this look like to you?
Yeah, look, it's just one of the things that make up my indicators of interest, and I like the cross that happened like a week ago. It wasn't as low as I wanted it to get, and it might front runner perhaps, but I don't know. It's just one of the things I look at.
Okay. Now the RSI on the weekly has not yet made it into the oversold territory. So maybe there's one more move to the downside coming, but there's also a lot of room to the upside here, and that is a lot of room. So let's see how that goes. The other oscillators, the MACD needs to cross over, and the CMF is in the red, but it looks like it wants to head back up. So look, there is a chance that the lows are in. Markets don't usually bottom in this form. So I'm not crazy optimistic that we are ready to go to significant highs. All right, and that's pretty much it for Bitcoin on a short-term chart. We hit an hourly MRI top, which means we could be topping out in this vicinity. Matt, you prefer the 4-hour chart. I'll let you talk about that one. So why don't you take over, talk about
Sure.
Bitcoin a bit, and then I'll take a look at the traditional markets after.
Yeah, that sounds great, mate. It's funny that you say that I prefer the 4-hour. I learnt the 4-hour from you and Tyler and Socrates to a lesser extent, I suppose, as well. So it's funny that I've become the connoisseur of the 4-hour time frame, which I'm starting on today. The 4-hour time frame. This is really big for me. This 4-hour time frame, because of all the rejections that we've continually got off all the rallies. Is this the one? Like that's the question I've got. This, what I said on yesterday's show, is like every rally we've got has just been hard rejected. And it's been pinching into between this MRI support and resistance zone, which once again has just been, this Tone, just a question to you in the MRI. Can this MRI support resistance zone get any more pinched? Is it possible to even get more pinched? Like, maybe like if it rejected now and then sort of stayed above sort of 78, maybe we get another pinching in. But I really think this MRI support resistance zone is the key here. We got to get above it, and we got to print above it successfully, and then I'd actually be quite bullish, in fact.
So it can get pinched from the bottom side. It's not going to get pinched from the top side. So there could be, if we continue to go up the rest of the day, we would get a slightly higher green dotted line, and it would come in at the bottom end of candle number 1.
Yeah.
So it would be slightly pinched. It would move from 86.8, and it would just move up to 87.4.
Yeah, look, that I think it's the same thing in theory. Like I just want to see this play out. I mean, there'd be so many people who have been burnt on, and I was one of them, like trying to catch one of these breakouts. And then it just the price just get hardcore rejected. And then it's just been difficult trading because these solid moves, these solid green candles that we've had on the 4-hour time frame, the hourly candle, have happened very, very quickly, and then they've been rejected very, very hard as well. So like you haven't had the chance to buy in, and then you're chasing, and then it just dumps. And so like bots and things would be having a hard time with this, this kind of situation. It's difficult. It's difficult on the 4-hour. I don't know. What I'd really want to see a break above 90,000, a sustained break above 90,000 on the 4-hour time frame. If I go to the daily, once again, we're just coming up to, we've just touched on to the dollar, the 30 simple moving average, and we're being rejected now. The 50 was rejected last time, and then it's just, shoot, who knows? But see, imagine a world where we've been in this, whether it was a triangle or a channel or whatever, for quite some time. Let me just draw like a little channel in now, just for argument's sake, and we'll call the bottom. We'll just call the bottom here at 84,000, and we'll call the top of the range. I'm even happy just to call it here, right, at 90,000. Right, we've been stuck in this approximate zone. Most candles have been inside this zone. If we get a nice close above the 50 simple and above this sort of range here, after all this time, maybe the bottom's in. And the 3-day, maybe it is that the 3-day green diamond was the one. Do you know? Like maybe that was the one that we were looking for, and that might be it. I like that the count on the 3-day time frame here with the MRI. Just get above this 200 simple, get above this line, and then I can see a push. There's so much overhead resistance. But like, it's not the end of the world. I'm not gonna take a punt. I'm not, because I'm still of the mindset that we are currently below every moving average except for the 200 on the 3-day time frame. They're not really rounding. They're rounding down, if anything. I still think that a further downside's on the table. Just a few $1,000 move to the upside within like the last 4 hours doesn't make me that excited. I'm still thinking, I'm still preparing. I've still got my cash in hand to buy a green diamond at lower points. I guess the summation on my side for Bitcoin is I'm not into the 4 hour or 1 hour or 15-minute day trading zone. Um, and I'm not convinced that we're out of the woods, and I'm still locked and loaded for further downside. But I would love to be wrong. That's I guess is the sentiment of the show. I would love to be wrong. I would love for the copy curve to be rounding right now. Really put in a good rounding bottoming pattern, which is cool because like we are at a good spot. We are quite low for the EXA. Sorry, for the copy curve. Of course, we've been lower before, but it would be fine to be a rounding position now to work its way back up to zero. I don't mind that the RSI has put in maybe a higher low, but I'm not convinced it's finished. I'm just trying to make a case here. Maybe I said last night's show, there's no way to pick this on that MACD as a bottom, but it might turn out to be the bottom it could be, like we are negative, right? Like it's not the most negative we've ever been, but like this is a weekly scale here. It's very, very, very low. There's only been one time it's been lower, which was in on the 20 June 13 2022. When was that? Oh, at the bottom of the market, right? So like we're the bottom of the bear market. It's got the signifier right there of like that was the lowest low we've had on the RSI, and we're in that sort of vicinity right now. Maybe this is it. And I always said we were looking for a 3-day green diamond, but I always said as well that I just want to see the market bottom at at your 60,000, 70,000, 80,000 would be bloody brilliant for me. If we could put in a bottom at that range where, all right, the last bottom was at 15, 17,000. The bottom before that was 3,000. The bottom before that was 300 or whatever. Imagine if we put in a bottoming pattern at 85,000. Damn, that would be very, very, very exciting for further upside. But as it stands right now, I'm not buying in yet. I'm still waiting. Coming back to you in the studio now, Tone. What are the traditional markets saying? Are we it's just, is S&P still rallying? Is gold and silver still rallying? What do we got to pair this with?
Let's glance at the S&P first. Here's the daily S&P. The markets are open today, but the volume is going to be very, very low. It's in between Christmas and New Year's. This is literally the dead time in the markets, except gold and silver, obviously. But in the stock markets, it's kind of dead. We just had a new all-time high in the stock market, and I am bullish going into next year. And you can see by my arrow right here, I've been bullish ever since November when we had a little bit of a dip, maybe on a weekly chart. This makes a little more sense. And yeah, this rally here, we had a couple of green star candles. We are working our way into an MRI top in consolidation, which is also bullish. So the stock market is bullish. This is a very nice continuation pattern going higher. The weird part is, of course, the correlation that is non-existent right now between Bitcoin and the stock market. But the stock market going to new all-time highs probably helped stabilize Bitcoin. But I still expect it to catch up. And as you guys know, Bitcoin, if the momentum starts going on Bitcoin, it can go up very, very quickly. Interest rates, I mean, the Fed is dropping the interest rates to comply with Trump's demands on lower interest rates in order to redenominate the debt. I need to update my spreadsheets here on the US budget. This is the one I'm really looking forward to updating. It'll take me another month to update it. This is the US bonds held by foreign entities. You can see this runaway blue line is the European Union that are basically the collapsing European Union. And you can see how it's just buying up all the US bonds. So you have a collapsing region of the world buying into potentially a collapsing world superpower by supporting them with their bonds, because China is sure as hell ain't doing it, and Russia stopped it a long time ago. And you can see the Chinese China is this orange line here. The red line is Japan.
Yeah.
Japan has not purchased anything additional.
It's
They're just
flatline.
going
Yeah,
steady.
it's been flatline. Yep.
Yeah, it's been flatlined for 10 years.
Yeah.
Japan flatlined. China has been going down for 10 years. And I think this drop is going to accelerate because of the tensions between US and China are increasing. But look at the European line. This is nuts. So started going exponential in 2010. So that is now 15 years that we've gone up exponential on Europe buying those bonds. And this green line, this is the Caribbean banking centers right here.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to tell. There's so many green lines, but it's Caribbean or it's the UK. It's a little hard to tell even for me. I wish I could change these colors, but I can't seem to do it anymore. I did it at some point. I put some of them in, but I'm struggling to update this. So it's a little hard for even me to tell. Oh, here it is. I can click on them. There you go.
Yeah, it's
That's the
definitely Caribbean.
So
Man.
this
Yeah,
is,
it's
that
definitely
makes this the UK.
Yeah.
So you can see the UK is in the same boat as the European Union, but they're kind of together anyway. The UK and the European Union are picking up all the slack. I find this data absolutely fascinating. You can see which countries are vessels of the US. You can see which countries, say how high to jump when the US says jump. And you see which countries are saying, we want nothing to do with your nation. And that's what Russia did a long time ago when they dropped out. And the new player in the game is, of course, Tether, who is buying up. I put them right there at the top. Now, Tether is not holding long-term bonds. They're only holding short-term bonds. But you can see the increase from 15 billion to 100 billion already this year. This number is probably higher already because in a Bitcoin bear market, more people hold Tether. So Tether has more money to buy more US bonds. I'll take a look at the latest Tether numbers at the end of the year, but you can see this massive rise in how much Tether has. Now, that is this green line right there. That is Tether. It's still near the bottom, but this may go up exponentially. And this would be Tether picking up the slack on purchasing US government bonds. Maybe they'll get into the long-term bond game. Who knows? It'll be interesting how this is going to play out. And this is the general data. With the whole overhaul of the United States government, I'm having trouble getting the latest data in proper formats, but I'll look into it early next year. All right, let's go to gold and silver, the big elephant in the room.
Whoa.
What a crash yesterday in gold. Now, this has happened before. This happened at the end of October, and then gold did recover. Now, keep in mind, if we zoom out, gold is on a yearly MRI top. I would be surprised if gold, well, it's possible gold will have a yearly swing high, but I would be very surprised if gold has a higher closing high. And on a monthly scale, gold is on its third consecutive MRI top. This has never happened before. On a monthly scale with gold, we came close right here. We were one candle off right here of having a third consecutive MRI top, and you can see what happened last time. So I'm expecting the same thing to happen again. I think these markets have either topped or topping. This monthly candle is going to close as a reversal candle, and it's very likely gold will, go down to 3,000. Very, very reasonable place for it to go. You can see the prior high was only at 2,000. So gold going all the way down to 2,000 is actually reasonable before finding the lows and going to new highs. This is a very, very reasonable projection. I think with all the money printing, it's more likely to go here. But hey, things have gone lower than I've expected in the past as well, just like things have gone higher than I've expected in the past as well. But you can see the yearly MRI, the monthly MRI top inside the yearly MRI top. Where are we on the weekly? On the weekly, we have hit all the extensions, A, B, and C. We are still missing the MRI top, but this is also a potential top on weekly gold. I'm not going to trade this week, but next week, I may not risk it with the volatile silver. I may just short gold instead. Though I still want to, I would rather short silver. I want to make my money back on that other trade. And here is daily gold. It did give us a green star candle and head faked us a little bit. But again, this is happening during the worst time of year to trade between Christmas and New Year's. Actually, like that 10-day period, December 10 to January 3rd, that 2-week period is not a good time to trade. Let's see. Let's talk about silver now. We're going to go in the opposite direction. Silver also hit extension A and extension C. Extension B should be coming soon. Let's see how close we are to extension B. Oh, my indicator doesn't. Let me refresh this. Here we go. Display trend, display extension details, all. There we go. We are on B10. So we are, about 3 days away, but we need new higher highs. May not happen. It's strange, but I mean, it may happen. It may happen eventually. Extension B, we're also
pretty good recovery off that dip.
Well, yeah, so far. Let's see how this plays out. The daily can still get us into an MRI top. That would be interesting. I'm going to wait for the daily MRI top. Also, it would help. It will take us into the next year. And if we get another daily MRI top, that daily MRI top will come inside a weekly MRI top. So if next week is a bullish week, we will get a weekly MRI top. Another one. And we know this is inside the margin of error for a monthly MRI top. As long as we don't get a green star candle, which we probably won't. And on the annual chart, we're lagging behind on gold. But even if silver goes all the way down to $30, we can still get an annual top in silver 2 years from now with silver in the 40s. In order for us to break the yearly count to a silver MRI top, we would literally need silver to go below like $25. And as bearish as I am on silver, I don't think it's going below $25. I think a reasonable low would be 30. I don't see silver going below 30. I know a lot of people don't see silver going below 70 ever again for the history of humanity. But for me, that number is 30. I think going below 30 is unlikely, but going down to 30 is very, very reasonable, in my view.
Someone just commented, it's a good comment and it's a valid point. Revenge trading is a bad idea. And I suppose they're talking about you with your silver trade. But that's not, I view every trade as an individual trade. Once the trade has failed or succeeded, I can do the same trade 2 or 3 times because I still see the same setup. It's got nothing to do with the previous trade. I can, do you know what I mean? Like you seeing a short on silver, having a go, and then pulling at the trade in a slight, a small loss is a valid trader's thing to do. And you do that most of the time. It's like 49% of the time you do that, maybe more. But then like putting the same trade back on from even a higher spot on a short again, there's nothing wrong with doing that. That's not revenge trading. It's just repositioning a trade. Tone, thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, my view on silver hasn't changed. We are now in a bigger exponential rise than when I shorted it the first time. So why would my outlook change? I'm still expecting silver to go down and have a significant pullback because, guys, no one needs silver. No one really needs silver that much. Like, Like, are you telling me that silver right now is triple what it was a few months ago? That's insane, right?
So you wouldn't call, if you put another short on silver right now, even if you lost, you don't consider that a revenge trade. It's a separate
No.
trade. It's a separate entity, right?
Yeah, it's a completely independent trade. Now I'm
Yeah.
gonna now whether I choose silver or I choose gold, you can say, "Oh, I'm revenge trading silver. Why don't I just short gold?" It's kind of the same thing. I gotta. It looks like someone's commenting that the CME changed the margin on silver. I think I said this in our last show or the show prior. I didn't know they did that, but I was expecting them to because the massive leverage on silver makes no sense at these silver prices. So the CME was going to make some changes that could have caused a little bit of a drop. I mean, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait a few more days, and I'll decide then. Right? I haven't even made the decision yet, but I'm gonna wait until next week, and we'll see how it goes next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
China's banning. I mean, look, you can always come up with excuses or reasons as to why prices go up and down. But at the end of the day, I still think silver is overpriced. It's in an exponential rise, and I think it'll drop. All right, let's. I wanted to glance at some comments, and then we're gonna call it a day. Let's see.
It's been slow today in the comment section, but that's to be expected. We are in the silly season, and it's close to New Year's.
I saw Netflix mentioned. Meta. Yeah, we can glance at Meta.
Let's do it.
Meta on the weekly. Very neutral, coming off an MRI buy, setting up a flag pattern.
Kind of looks like Bitcoin, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Meta looks more bullish to me than bearish right now. That's on a weekly scale. On a daily scale, yeah, it looks a lot like Bitcoin. I mean, green star candle maybe tomorrow. I mean, I wouldn't trade this week, but Meta looks bullish to me.
Great comment here. Oh, I pushed the wrong one. Prices go down when I buy and go up when I sell. Can you just let us know when you're buying then, my friend? Because that would be valuable information.
RIVN, I would stay away from it. That was coming into an MRI buy and has been pulling back. XOM, ExxonMobil, looks great, very bullish, near all-time highs. I don't see a problem here. Yep, it's bullish. I'm bullish on the daily. I'm very bullish on the weekly with the green star. And I'm very bullish on the monthly coming off a green star. So ExxonMobil was a good buy last month, and it still is. Looks very bullish to me. New all-time closing monthly high coming in. Bullish.
Yep. Massive. Here we go. Massive Bitcoin. Sorry. Daily triangle forming, aka bear flag. We were talking about that for the last 2 weeks, my friend. And yeah, we're still in the same spot, really, to be honest. It's still valid as far as I'm concerned. It's hard to call it a symmetrical triangle, perhaps, but you might as well make it a parallel lines, which is what I did in the analysis today. It's just as valid.
Speaking of GameStop, someone mentioned, what if the CME? Where's GameStop?
GME. It's just GME.
Oh, it's one word. That's why it wasn't showing up. I mean, what Robinhood did to GameStop didn't change much, you know. Look at that beautiful MRI top. And it has not had one since. That's on the monthly. Yeah, we're not sure what they're going to do. That's why you got to trade accordingly.
Somebody said, what is the crypto taxes like in Japan, Matt? It's 55% on capital gains. It's untenable. So I don't have anything to do with that. But they are looking at bringing in a classifying crypto here in Japan, which is massive for the crypto industry. The new president, prime minister, has announced that they're going to make it I believe it's a 20 or 30% flat capital gains tax on crypto. So basically, Japan is not in crypto because 55% with miscellaneous tax makes it untenable. But if they classify it as 20 or 30%, just like it is with regular stocks here in Japan, it brings 128 million people who are highly interested in trading crypto into the market. I think it's big for crypto when they do that. That's my opinion.
I don't have a comment on institutions. The reason why you're confused, Pedro, is because people are confused and they announce things for their own narrative, right? When BlackRock ETF sells Bitcoin, is that an institutional seller or is that a retail seller, right? When BlackRock ETFs buys Bitcoin, is that an institutional buy or is that a retail buy? And people are confused. BlackRock does not hold any Bitcoin. They are like a bank. Like Chase is holding your money. Technically, it's their money, but they're holding it on your behalf. Technically, it's Coinbase's Bitcoin that is holding it for BlackRock, that is holding it for you, who is buying the ETF. And some institutions are buying into the ETF, and then they sell it, and some people are buying into the ETF, and then they sell it. And when people sell the ETF, BlackRock calls Coinbase and tells them to sell the underlying Bitcoin. That's just how it works. Now, some people will scream and say institutions are selling the Bitcoin, and people like me say it's not really the institutions unless institutions are holding the ETF. So it's a statement that has a lot of interpretation. All right, I'm good to go, man.
I'm good to go, man.
All right. Talk to you all on the next one. Oh, on my personal channel at the top of the hour, I'm going to do an update on Russia-Ukraine, cool. Yearly update, end of year update on Russia-Ukraine. And then starting next year, I'm going to start doing some health and wellness content. And I have a 7-day dry fast coming up right after New Year's. And I will be streaming every day to keep you guys appraised and let you know that I'm alive.
Yeah, please do. Hey, tomorrow is New Year's Eve here in Japan, and it's tomorrow morning is your New Year's Day. So I won't be doing a show tomorrow. So we went a bit longer today. I'll be with the family. I've got lots of cousins and whatnot coming over. Not my blood family, obviously, but all still family nonetheless. So I'll be enjoying that, and I hope everybody has a wonderful and happy New Year. And we all kick off for the 2026, eh? 2026. Jesus, Tone. 2026. How old are we, my friend?
I know.
I remember I was a security guard back when I was like 18, 19. I was always kind of a tough guy. And I remember like taking like, IDs, checking IDs at the door. I was a good doorman because I was a good speaker. But imagine what would a 18-year-old be right now? Do the math on that. What's 2025 minus 18?
225 minus 18? That's like 2007.
Imagine being a security guard right now and collecting IDs that say 2007. Do you know, like, what? I used to look out for the 90s. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was like 1991. I'm like, yeah, you're good, mate. Do you know, like, crazy stuff. All right. Have a lovely Happy New Year.
All right, bye, guys. Unless something crazy is happening in the markets, you probably won't see me tomorrow either.